On a quiet morning of January 12, 2020, 21-year-old British tourist Madeline Davis set out in search of what she believed would be unforgettable experiences. Diamond Bay Reserve in Sydney, Australia, is renowned not only for its breathtaking ocean views, but also for its dangerous cliffs. What began as a pleasant morning adventure quickly turned into a harrowing nightmare. Madeline was a talented cosmetologist and a rising star on social media. She had traveled to Australia to enjoy the natural beauty and culture. After a night of partying, she joined 7 friends to watch the sunrise at Diamond Bay Reserve. The group arrived at the cliffs, filled with excitement and eager to capture the awe-inspiring scenery. However, the view beyond the safety barriers seemed even more enticing. Despite warning signs and fences, Madeline climbed over the barrier to take a selfie. Her friends watched as she cautiously posed on the edge while the waves crashed loudly far below. Then, suddenly, she slipped. In an instant, Madeline lost her balance and fell 8 meters into the ocean. Panic erupted. Her friends screamed and called for help. Emergency services arrived at 6:30 a.m., but the search was challenging. The cliffs were steep, and the waves were turbulent. After 4 hours, her body was found wedged among the rocks, 17 meters underwater. Madeline's family and friends were devastated. She was full of life, talent, and creativity. A toxicology report later revealed that alcohol and traces of drugs were present in her system at the time of the fall. These substances likely impaired her judgment and coordination, influencing her decision to climb over the safety barrier. Local authorities had already taken steps to enhance safety at Diamond Bay, raising fences and installing additional warning signs. However, tragically, these measures were not enough to prevent the accident. When news of Madeline's death spread, some internet users criticized her, accusing her of taking an unnecessary risk. But her grieving mother publicly defended her daughter, reminding everyone that Madeline was only human and that the family was enduring an unimaginable loss. Madeline's story serves as a sobering reminder that life is priceless, and no amount of likes or social media attention can ever bring it back. The next story is about 18-year-old Jolie Callan. She went on a hike in the Alabama mountains with her ex-boyfriend. These photos are the last ones she posted shortly before the tragedy. Her companion shot her in the head and then pushed her body off a cliff. He later turned himself in to the authorities that same day. The court sentenced him to 52 years in prison. The 21-year-old Oscar Otero Aguilar accidentally shot himself while attempting to create an interesting selfie to post on Facebook. The young man grabbed a gun he had at home and prepared to pose for the camera. However, he accidentally pulled the trigger, firing a fatal shot to his own head. The tragedy occurred in the summer of 2014. In this video, at first glance, it seems to capture happy moments. People are laughing and joking, unaware that these are their final minutes before a devastating plane crash. The footage was recorded by one of the players from a Brazilian football team. It shows the athletes preparing for their flight to the championship match, sharing jokes and laughter. It was a routine flight operated by a Bolivian airline. After takeoff, Flight 2933 was headed to Colombia but soon disappeared from radar. The plane crashed on a mountainside. On board were 72 passengers and 9 crew members. Tragically, almost no one survived the disaster. This is Ksenia Ignatieva, an 18-year-old girl from Russia who became known for her extreme selfies. She climbed dizzying heights to capture breathtaking shots. However, one day, while attempting to take a photo on a 10-meter-high bridge in St. Petersburg, she fell. As it was later revealed, the cause of her death was not the fall itself. While in midair, she tried to grab onto some wires, which resulted in a powerful 1,500-volt electric shock. After that, she had no chance of survival. For 2 Brazilian bloggers, safety clearly wasn't a priority. Their main focus was looking attractive. Everything else didn't matter. One of the stories happened on a leisure yacht in Brazil. A group of bloggers and their friends decided to take a trip to the Devil's Throat waterfall, located near Sao Paulo. This destination attracts countless tourists every year with its breathtaking views. Their day started with jokes and laughter. They took lots of photos, enjoyed the ocean views, and cruised on the yacht. But the fun soon turned into a tragedy. On the way back, a storm hit. Due to overloading, the boat capsized and the passengers ended up in the water. Life jackets helped save those who wore them, and they were quickly rescued. But Beatrice and Aline were not among the survivors. Beatrice's body was found at sea, and Aline's was discovered a week later, washed ashore. Beatrice was a popular social media influencer who shared her glamorous, event-filled life. Just hours before the tragedy, she had posted photos from the trip, smiling and having fun. These photos, once a symbol of joy, now serve as a stark reminder that no beauty is worth the risk when it comes to life. A bride-to-be from the United States took a selfie just minutes before a fatal car accident. Best friends, Colette Moreno and Ashley Theobald, were on their way to a bachelorette party when their Chevrolet Malibu collided with a pickup truck. Theobald survived, but Moreno lost her life. According to the New York Daily News, the 26-year-old friends were headed to Lake of the Ozarks for a pre-wedding celebration, a bachelorette party for Colette. On her Facebook page, Theobald wrote that she was allowed to leave work early for the event. Meanwhile, Colette posted an optimistic selfie. Just 8 minutes later, Ashley's life was forever changed, and her best friend tragically passed away. Another tragedy occurred in Romania in May 2015, when a Romanian girl literally caught fire after accidentally touching an exposed wire while attempting to take a cool selfie on top of a train. 18-year-old Anna Ursu and her friend went to the railway station in the city of Iași to capture a special selfie that she wanted to post on her Facebook page. While lying on the roof of the train and lifting her leg, she accidentally touched a live wire carrying 27,000 volts of electricity. She was instantly engulfed in flames, suffering severe burns. Despite the efforts of a passerby who tried to save Anna, the 18-year-old girl later died in the hospital from burns covering about 50% of her body. The electrical shock that struck Anna was so powerful that it threw her friend, who had accompanied her, several feet away. He later recovered in the hospital and explained that the pair had been so determined to take the perfect selfie that they didn't stop to consider the risks. In short, they were too focused on their goal to notice the danger. The Triana Bridge, built in the mid-19th century, quickly gained fame as one of the most popular landmarks in Seville. Today, it remains one of the most photographed attractions in the region, drawing locals and tourists alike. Among them was 23-year-old Silvia, who sought to capture the perfect selfie on the iconic Puente de Triana. Determined to get a striking shot, Silvia climbed onto a ledge, gripping the railing with one hand while holding her phone in the other. For a while, she balanced precariously on the edge, adjusting her position to find the ideal angle. But then, the unthinkable happened. She slipped. Silvia fell 4.5 meters onto the bridge's support structure. The impact caused her heart to stop. Despite the swift efforts of medical personnel, her injuries proved too severe, and she tragically passed away in the hospital shortly afterward. This was a heartbreaking, tragic accident, authorities later stated. Let this be a sobering reminder: no photo is worth risking your life. A first date turned tragic. Love and loss on Northcliffe Hill. James Nichols and Cheyenne Holloway had been in a long-distance relationship for some time, communicating through the internet. When the couple finally decided to meet in person, they chose Northcliffe Hill, the second highest peak in Johannesburg, as their destination. The pair stopped at the edge of the cliff to take a selfie with the setting sun as their backdrop. According to a witness, Miss Holloway stood on a large rock at the very top, while Mr. Nichols was setting up a tripod. Suddenly, the rock shifted and rolled down the cliff, taking Cheyenne with it. She fell 15 meters, and Nichols rushed to her side, performing CPR for 20 minutes until medical professionals arrived. Despite his desperate efforts, Miss Holloway could not be saved. She passed away at the scene.